Well, Gulnur Aybet is the head of the Department of Political Science and International Relations at Başakşehir University here in Istanbul, and she joins me now. Gulnur, Turkey says it's been invited by the Peshmerga to take part in all this. Is it as simple as that? What's happening there?
Well, you know, the battlefield is a very fluid place, and although initially, you do have, laid plans on the table, and, this operation has actually been planned very carefully because, of course, the Americans have been, involved in the planning together with the Iraqi government and the coalition forces. But, as things progress on the ground, it's very fluid, and Turkey's always said that, if they are invited to take part, they will do so. And the Turkish forces there have been based there for some time at the invitation of both the KRG and the Iraqi government. It's only very recently that the Iraqi government have voiced these objections that Turkey should not take part in the operation to liberate Mosul from ISIS. And Turkey's always, or have just been saying, that, look, we're already there, we're already part of the coalition, and besides, in comparison to other countries in the coalition that don't have a cultural and historical know-how and link and background to the region, we're actually much more capable of understanding the situation on the ground than any other member of the coalition, because this is also our moral hinterland. I think this is what the president was actually alluding to when he said, there's actually a whole historical know-how that Turkey has with this region. So it absolutely makes sense for Turkey to become involved at this point at the invitation of the Peshmerga, who were having a lot of difficulties around Bashika when they were facing ISIS. Similarly, I mean, the whole incident in Kirkuk with Daesh suddenly, springing up there with the suicide attacks was also unexpected. So I'm afraid, you can plan things in advance and say this is how exactly the coalition structure should work on the ground. But, war is a very fluid thing, and it's very unlikely that it'll happen this way. And the other thing is, of course, there's concerns about the Shia forces, which are also being held back now, because people, and again, this is one of Turkey's concerns, and it's also shared by the United States, that there were atrocities carried out by some Shia militants when they actually went into predominantly Sunni areas before. Particularly, we saw this in the Anbar region, and Turkey's very rightly concerned about that. That's why, for the time being, they're trying to, the planners of this this operation are trying to keep the involvement of the coalition forces according to a certain structure. But unfortunately, as the war unravels, it's very difficult to keep to certain structures, and it's likely to be more fluid, including the roles that coalition members play.
As you say, all very unpredictable.
Yes.
Is it possible at all to have a sort of scenario of how it may unfold?
Well, there's usually no scenario in a war situation. It's very fluid. So there's a plan, and you go according to it. But once you're actually in the battlefield, you have to be more creative. This is what Clausewitz teaches us, and he's the father of modern strategy. So I think that's exactly what's happening here now, is that there's a little bit more creativity. And there should be, because all these countries are in the coalition, and there should be a way to find a way to move forward. And like I said, Turkey has worked very well with the KRG, and I think they will continue doing so in the region.
Gulnur Aybet, thank you very much,
Thank
as
you.
always, for your expertise on the subject. Sure, we'll be returning to you again.